Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Study On. This is Samia Aziz, and in today's lecture, we will learn about a very important topic which is known as network diagram. This network diagram is very helpful in your study from the study point of view, and as well as from a professional life, as if being a worker or being a researcher, if you're researching on any topic or you're making your thesis. So this is going to help you in all of the ways, so it's worth learning. And to understand the network diagram in a proper manner, I have organized a list or an outline that we are going to learn and we are going to understand. And these all questions will basically help you to grasp the basic idea of how a network diagram is created. So this is how I will go in a sequence of explaining the topics. So first we will discuss about what is a project. We will discuss about what are activities, and then we will learn what is a network diagram. We will learn why we need to make a network diagram for any project. So this is about its importance. We will learn why it is so important, why to assign time to a project. So another important thing that because network diagram is made with the time, so why needed to assign a time to a project. And this is also very important that most of the times the time of network diagram is provided to you, but being uh, a researcher or being any learner, you must know that how the time is going to be calculated. Sometimes in exams this kind of question also comes, that you have to create the time for each activity. So this is also from that point of view very important. And we will learn about the times that are again in addition to the network model, which is going to help the project manager a lot. And being a student, you should also learn about it, which is earliest start time and earliest finish time. So we will learn that how to calculate it. We will also learn about the two other times that are included in network model, which is latest start time and latest finish time. So we will also learn how to calculate earliest start, earliest finish time, latest start and latest finish time. So these three things will be done in another video, but because for the sake of not making this video too long, we will learn this in another one. But we will grasp the basic idea of how to create a network diagram in this video. So then we will learn about how to create a network diagram and how to reduce the penalty cost. This is also very important topic from the point of view of this network diagram making, and we will do it in some other video. So let's get to the topics. And I have done this topic organization, and I have created these in a manner of question and answer so that you will be able to understand it very nicely. And we are going to start with the first question. The first question is about what is the project. So when why I'm going to emphasize this term, and why I'm going to explain this term, because with the network diagram you will be learning, or you will be hearing, reading this term again and again, and this is going to be used multiple times for a network diagram. So we need to learn about what is a project itself. So see, the project is anything which is in a form of a complete job or an entire work that you are going to do, or the last or the finished work that we are going to call it. So a project is basically a whole lot of work. It is not a simple small work to be done. It's a whole lot of work. On its completion, we call it is a project. So it can be companies own, because companies are working, so they can have their own projects. They can do project after project. One project is completed, the other is going to be started. Or it can be assigned by a third party. A third party can be an example of a local government, that sometimes the projects have been assigned by the local government. So this is how you are going to analyze the project. Now the good example of project can be like rebuilding of the office. So because office is in a bad condition, you have to rebuild it. So this is a project, right? Installing a new hospital or a new school or the installation of new library or a university, these are all examples of a project. Renovating of an old school building, so if you're renovating the furniture or the color, the paints of the building, so this is also the example of a project. Adding a new plant to work capacity, this is also the example of a project. So a project C is a whole work or the whole job, right? But as we all know that even if you are making a kind of dish, right? So that dish is making of that dish, consider it as a project. But this creation of a dish is not going to be done in one single step. You have to be through series of steps to accomplish your work or to get done your work. So those all series of steps that you are going to undertake in making of a particular dish is simply, you can consider them as an activity or set of activities. So activities are basically the actions needed to complete a job or series of steps to complete a project. Simple as that. Now, because each activity is different, unique, and each activity will be having a different time of completion, as well as the input that you're giving to an activity will be different and the output will be different. That must be clear. You can assign any time to activity. That depends upon the best guesses that I will explain in other video. The best guesses and might be like statistical techniques can be used to just calculate this time. In a project, each activity is assigned to a separate person or a group. So because the project is going to be performed by by team members or the project members, so all of the team members will be having different set of activities to be completed. So no single person can do the whole project by its oneself. Now we are coming to the third question. What is a network diagram? A network diagram is simply a visual representation of a project via two things, which is arcs and nodes. So we represent the arcs with arrows and we represent nodes with the circles. So each circle is connected to some arcs, and it's leading to some other nodes. So this is how that we are going to create a network diagram. Why we need to assign time to each activity? Very important question. Now see, this is activity, suppose this is activity A, this is activity B, and this is activity C. So if we are not going to assign times to the activity, we won't be able to bend with our project's completion time, or we cannot be able to limit it, because there is a limit of completion of any project. We cannot, for example, we can bake a cake in just 1 hour, and this is the maximum time that a cake can take to be baked. But if we are assigning 3 hour time, that's an abnormal time. Why a cake need to be taken in a 3 hour time? In those 2 hours we can bake more cakes, right? Just to capitalize or just to make more money or just to make more revenue. So this is all the consideration because of money making, or to generate some revenues or to reduce some expenses. So very important, it's very important to assign time to each activity so that each activity is going to be completed its appropriate time, and so that a project is not going to be delayed and is going to be completed on time. So if we are not considering time, or we are not assigning an appropriate time to an activity, and we are just doing it on our will at any time, what it will do? It will increase the cost of production. Definitely the cost of productions will be increased, missing opportunities that could have been taken if they were there, or if you were free. So again, because you haven't completed project A, how you can jump on project B or C? So project after project is taken. Then there is an employee fatigue, because employee can get rid of want to get rid of the project because it's been too long that they are busy in a project and they cannot engage themselves in any other one. And the reputation of the firm can also be deteriorated or can be damaged because they are not going to do the job on the time. So imagine these costs are the costs of company itself. These are for the company. And but when in case of third party, as I told you that, for example, consider as a local government, if the local government is assigning a task of building a new hospital or a library, and you are not doing it on time, and no, you're not assigning the time to each activity, and it's giving you a deadline. For example, this project should be completed in 6 months, and you haven't assigned the time, and you haven't taken it seriously, and you have just jumped more than 6 months. You have jumped 6 months and 5 days. So each day a penalty will be imposed, and that penalty is so costly that you can damage your all revenues. So why a business would like to do that? Because businesses are existing to earn, to make revenues, and to reduce their expenses. This is the basic essence, or the basic motivation of a business. So in order to reduce the expenses, they have to assign times, appropriate times, so that the project is going to be completed. Now we are going to learn about the second question, sixth question, which is what is earliest start and earliest finish times, and the latest start and latest finish time. So earliest start time is a time which you can start any activity at early time, which can be just now, or for example, the time of an activity is 2 days, but you are going to start it in just today, or this time. This is the earliest start of the activity. For example, you can bake a cake in 2 hours, but you are going to start it just now. So this will be the earliest start of the activity. Earliest finish time is the time that you can, how early you can finish your activity, basically. So this is dependent upon that how early you start your work. So as early you start your work, the earlier you will finish your work. So it doesn't seem like that if you have started baking a cake 2 hours before the delivery time, and your cake will be finished in 2 hours. No, your cake will be finished in 1 hour. So 1 hour will be left as a slack time, and because you have started earlier, so you are going to finish earlier. Then we have other time, which is latest start time and latest finish time. So latest start time is the time that how much delay you can do to start an activity. So how late you can start the activity. Suppose some activities are so sensitive and so important that you can not delay a single hour in an activity. If you delay it, if you do it, the rest of the activities are going to be affected, and overall time of the project is going to be compromised. So in order to ignore that, you don't want to do that, you have to start it on time. So it's important to know that what is the latest start time. So if you have to do a delay, then how a delay you can do. For example, in baking a cake, the delay time you have, for example, 3 hours. So maximum, if you were on an earliest time, you could have started in the first hour of this time, or in the second hour of this time. But the delay is because it takes 1 hour to complete a cake, so you will be always starting in the second hour of the time, so that the delivery time of the cake is not going to be compromised. The latest finish time is how much late you can finish your activity, and the latest finish time should not be more than the overall time of an activity, or the overall time of the project, because if you do that, again you are going to compromise the time of your project. And how you are going to calculate the earliest start, earliest finish, latest start, and latest finish times. So this is the step that is going to be performed once you have created your basic network diagram with your estimated activity times, for which is represented by ET. If you have calculated this, then only you are able to calculate these 4 times in an activity. So we will learn that separately, that how we can create it. So this was a introduction about a network diagram, and these are the important things that are needed to be known before actually going on a network diagram. I hope this was very helpful to you. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.